just took a tumble.
Rudy takes a tumble looking for some more election fraud on the floor of the RNC. We're talking the comical and sometimes maddening mess that is the Republican National Convention on this watch list.
Service issue and to reach out to the Secret Service. But I can tell you this, they have a lot of questions as to who exactly at the Trump campaign knew and when, because I have talked to a number of people who have been on the ground with the former president in recent days and weeks who had no idea. Now, one thing to remember is that Donald Trump has a very tight-knit security team. He has been with the same detail for years. He is very close to them. They have a lot of respect for him, and he has a lot of respect for them.
Not sure if that guy supports Trump or if he snuck in with that T-shirt on, because not even the Messiah wants too much to do with the Epstein files.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Lots of phony stuff, like info he may not want out there. The second day of the RNC even tried to reintroduce Kristi Noem to the national politics after the biggest fall off in the Republican Party since Kevin McCarthy.
2 days ago, the whole world changed. Evil displayed itself in the very worst way, through a cowardly act. An innocent American lost his life, and we will continue to lift his family up in our prayers every single day. Prior to this week, we already knew that President Donald Trump was a fighter. He is the toughest man that I have ever met. Nobody has endured more than what he has gone through. They've attacked his reputation, they impeached him, they tried to bankrupt him, and they unjustly prosecuted him. But even in the most perilous moment this week, his instinct was to stand and to fight. Donald J. Trump is our man in the arena. He will never stop fighting for us. He will never stop, and now he is bringing all of us together.
It's weird how no matter what Kristi Noem says, all I can think about is that she bragged about killing her dog, goats, and a few horses. But the battle that she lost with her VP chances wasn't even the best one of the day.
Speaking. What night are you speaking? Are you speaking tonight? Or one person? No. Hey, you're not. If you took that stage, you would get booed off of it. You would get booed off the stage.
Let's remember that BS theme of the RNC that this cycle is about unity. Unity. All while Matt Gaetz taunts Kevin McCarthy after successfully making him the first Speaker of the House to be kicked out by his own party. After being separated from Kevin, one of the attendees looked like he chastised him for making a scene. Here's another angle of the conversation where we can hear what McCarthy was saying to CNN.
One who's not coming back, and then the other part that you have, and the other part you have is one person who raised the issue. He's got an ethics complaint about sleeping with a 17-year-old. So that's the way they would go. So that's the biggest challenge we have.
Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? Put your hands up. Get back. Are you a pedophile, Congressman Gaetz? Are you a pedophile? Congressman, are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile, Congressman Gaetz?
Are you sure? The fact that Gaetz is so comfortable showing his face around the convention with no expectations of really anyone shunning him for the accusations lobbed against him, with the former speaker also constantly claiming that these accusations are true, this is a big indicator of just how detached this party's principles are.
Yeah, I heard a little bit earlier today, if you don't vote for Donald Trump, you ain't black. But see, here's the thing. By the grace of God.
And there were just as many black folks in that shot of the crowd as there were in that badly planned photo op inside of a black church in Detroit. That's the extent of Trump's outreach for black support. Have black Republicans like John James, Ben Carson, and Byron Donalds do events in what they consider spaces where they can only find black people because Trump is too disgusted to be there himself. Then hope that they buy into the lie that if he gives a damn about black voters or black surrogates, he sends to these badly planned events.
Have you seen a transition from your customers and your employees from being quiet about what their support or lack of support about Trump or dislike of Trump to now? Has it changed? Has it shifted? Good question.
Politics is not really a main topic, but it has its time where we do talk about it when it's on CNN and, everybody's give their opinion about, what's going on, and it's definitely a buzz. I mean, it's definitely a buzz. It's going up.
Remember when the owner of that Atlanta barbershop agreed to let Byron Donalds in with an entourage of aspiring yes men and political handlers to act like black folks are discussing how much they love them some Donald Trump? He didn't seem very cooperative with giving them the answer that they wanted. Oh yeah, man, like everybody can't stop talking about how much they can relate to your criminal activity. Well, he's lost business over it and came out saying that he was duped into even agreeing to hold this political event for Trump. He even offered to give them their $4,800 back that he agreed to be paid, only to have his customers turn on him. But anyway, back to the pandering.
I realize Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
Even the audience was wondering why Amber Rose was in opposition to the entire Republican agenda that discards the experiences of minorities and attacks the LGBTQ plus community. She must not have been invited to the previous speeches where they were obviously saying it.
They promised unity and delivered division. They promised peace and brought war. They promised normalcy and gave us Transgender Visibility Day on Easter Sunday. And let me state this clearly. There are only two genders.
This fringe agenda includes biological males competing against girls and the sexualization and indoctrination of our children. Today's Democrat agenda, their policies, are a clear and present danger to America, to our institutions, our values, and our people.
There's a lot more that the party hates about Amber Rose's entire public presence. But for the sake of an attempt at attracting more voters, they decided to risk angering the vast majority of their base just by having her. But those are her people.
A member of Congress who was a Republican came out immediately and blamed the incident on DEI and said that the fact that there were women and black people in the Secret Service is the reason this happened. That is a member of Congress who went out on the TV and said to the world that DEI was the cause of an assassination attempt. This is where the Republican Party is. So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this black woman, this woman who is of whatever race that she has claimed. She said she's not black. But they've brought somebody whose whole career is based in black culture. She used to be on a show on BET. That's the reason most people know who she is. She dated one of the most prominent African-American rappers in the business in the history of hip-hop. So her whole culture came from black culture, even though she says she's not a black person herself. And the fact that she is now the person they're using to try to recruit young people of color and to say that this is the person who is the endorser of Donald Trump who you should trust, when she won't even claim the culture that brought her to the table, I'm dubious that this will work. I don't know anyone who takes their political cues from Amber Rose, but just in case you do, you might want to duplicate doing your own research because she might not have done it thoroughly.
Even by choosing J.D. Vance as his running mate, Trump is risking his racist base to question his commitment to their cause of white supremacy. They're thinking, all that fake appeal to fool people that you hate is fine, but don't legitimize them by acting like we respect their lives. One of his biggest supporters, the guy he personally met with, isn't very happy with his choices. This party really is a bigoted mess.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? Like, there's a white genocide going on in the world. White people are being systematically replaced in America and Europe through immigration and to a much lesser extent due to intermarrying. This guy has a non-white wife and a kid named Vivek. This guy is going to be a defender of white identity? I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity? If he does, it's going to be no better than any of these other civic nationalists like Vivek Ramaswamy. How else could you countenance American identity if you have a mixed up family like that?